Okay, looks good. Yep. Hi, Teresa. We're live.
We're live.
Hi, guys. It's Mystic Sisters, May 17, 2025, and it has been a gorgeous day. And wow, we've been through some very Uranus conjunct Sun activity in the last couple of days.
Yes,
It has been crazy.
crazy. Hopefully, everybody who's on Mystic Sisters tonight is okay. There were a lot of big storms that ran through the Midwest. I hope you guys are safe. I just got a thing on my mass casualty event because of the tornadoes. People in Kentucky, people in Missouri, probably Tennessee as well. I think Tennessee was at least in the crosshairs of whatever that was. That, and you have a story, Ona.
Yes, we had a dust storm. We had a haboob. They actually said it on the news, or I wouldn't, use that term because I thought it's more severe than that, but it was truly a dust storm that blew up from Indiana. I do have video on it and pictures, so I'm going to string those all together and post them. But it was crazy. And you can see where it should be sunny, and it was just
Not
dark, brown, unbelievable. And there were warnings that went off on our phones to close your windows, that this is a public health hazard kind of thing. Crazy. That's a very Sun conjunct Uranus sort of feeling going on there. The sudden change. I was out and about earlier in the day, and it smelled like being in the basement. And I thought maybe I should go thrift shopping or something, right? Maybe it's a sign to go like a little thrift store shopping. It smells like a basement. Knew it was supposed to get a little weird, but they weren't really that concerned about it, and all of a sudden they were. So it came in like at a 70 to 100 mile an hour sort of gust, and I will post all that stuff. It was nuts.
I was once in a dust storm in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yep.
We were at a wedding, and we were just about ready to go out. They had this like gazebo with all these like fake flowers. It looks very beautiful. And they started the wedding, and then this dust storm came through, and everything got ripped off the gazebo. We all had to run in. We ended up doing it inside the where she had the party, but I had never seen anything like it. From coming from the Northeast, we don't really see dust storms. We see other stuff, but we don't see dust storms. So.
I drove through one in Arizona as well, and it was like a whiteout, just like when you go skiing and you're driving like in the mountains, you can't see anything.
Can't see a thing.
Anything.
No, plus the sand. So
let me give Mary's comment up because she was right here in the same area. Sand started blowing in my face and eyes. I know we had already come inside. I did have, my windows open a little bit. I shut them, a little bit of crack. They just finished washing all the windows like 2 days ago. So you can actually see on the inside of the windows there where it looks like kind of like soap bubbles a little bit, because the dust adhered to the product that they were using, right? I never get like really clear windows. That's kind of like it's been punishing me. Christine said it was so eerie. I was driving to Ona's. Mary, I hope you got the sand out of yourself and your environment, because dang, let me get up here and it was really crazy. So I know a lot of people live in the Southwest, and this is haboob is a time of year when you sort of expect these kinds of things, but it happened here in 1934 was the last time, May 10th, actually. So there was a tourist piece going on in there, right? It had to be during a tourist season.
Well,
And apparently,
it's interesting that the Felon 47 was in like Qatar and Saudi Arabia. All of a sudden, we get a dust storm. Like it's just too. It's
right?
right. It's. I
It
think
was.
it was.
I
I
think
think
I
it
might
was.
have said that in the video, and I don't know if it went through that one or not. When I stitch them together, I'll let you know. But I said it felt like the end of times.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the dust storm I was in felt like the end of times too. It's the weirdest.
Yeah,
It's just a all of that stuff though, all the crazy weather. I mean, the worst we get here are nor'easters and hurricanes and an occasional tornado, but not generally.
yeah. Yeah, Mary said the wind was swirling in circles. Hi, Cindy. Hey, Cindy, I know that in the area where you are, there was some kind of violent weather as well. If you want to talk about it, please go ahead. Such a Sun Uranus conjunction kind of thing in Taurus, and that last like the exit interview, right? They're just like all over the place.
So I made the mistake this morning of waking up and I like to watch Jon Stewart because he has usually has a pretty good show.
Yeah.
But he had two people that were talking about like crypto and how much the Trumps were making billions and billions of dollars now, and
Oh yeah.
it's all like illegal, and it's all and I'm just sitting there going, WTF, man?
Yeah.
What like why is it so I had two thoughts. The first one was what WTF? That was maybe I
Yeah.
had three thoughts.
Maybe we should do a card on that one, the WTF, right? We should do a pull a card on that one.
Well, I have to pick a Mystic Sister card still, so I haven't done that. Last week we picked Beltane reunion, and hopefully some of us had some sort of fun, some fertile fun, as it were. Um, but yeah, so I was listening to it, and then I thought to myself, up to this point, everybody who's involved themselves with the Trumps have gone down the tubes. That was my consolation. Like
Yeah,
that thought was my consolation. But I'm telling you, man. Say
yeah. Cindy's like looking at the next couple of days is going to be um hinky. Yeah. We're going to be reaching maybe 50 on Wednesday. It was 92, 90 something degrees for 2 days in a row.
Alexandra says that Psychic Violetta said that Dumpy is giving nuclear secrets to the Saudis. They've been doing that.
Oh, I'm
They did
sure.
that in the first term, back in when
That's right.
when he first cursed us.
You can eat that over there if you want that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a story that's repeated itself. So definitely needs that attention. Right? But now it's just a little more blatant and open. I did that one little box spread on him this morning. If you guys want to check it out. And I think it's suited. I hopefully didn't influence the cards to, because sometimes I think you can influence the energy. And that's why we do the clearing and trying to like really shuffle and stuff. Some cards just become more charged as you do.
I find it hard to give any kind of positive spin when I do his cards. Like if it was somebody else, I might see the cards differently. But because
Yeah.
I'm so invested in his, um,
Yeah.
can I say demise without getting in trouble?
Yeah.
Yep.
I totally agree with you. If those cards were all pretty and all flower and he's got all this to look forward to, I'd say, I'm not posting this. I wouldn't have, but I thought this is something that everybody can see in the story. And if you're looking to like maybe learn a box spread, the idea of it can help build your own little, thing at home. If you're, doing your own cards, if you have your own deck, and see what you get. It's really to encourage you to like use the cards in that way. And it's a story that everybody knows. Right?
It is actually, it is very, that's why it's almost like I feel I can't watch this stuff. I can't watch it all. I have to be very selective about what I'm exposing myself to. And I've sort of come to this point where I feel like I just have to let go of all the things I have no control over
Right.
and just apply myself in the places that count for me, and whatever I can do to make the world a better place is what I'm going to do and concentrate on.
Right.
I mean, you have to sort of know what's going on, but
You do, and you do need to give some things attention because they deserve them, and because you know that there's some things that you would take action on, for instance, like a protest or something. But you also, and I know everybody here recognizes that the more you feed it into your mental space and emotional space and physical space, that the more energy you give it.
that's
Right.
right. And
So,
he's not the person I want to give energy to.
right. And ignoring it would be the best way to preserve your sovereignty. Right. And then
Unless
they
you
don't
can,
sort of like go away.
unless you don't emotion, like if you once you emotionally invest, that's when you lose. If it's just like, if you can like separate yourself and just say, oh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
maybe you can get away with it. But there's just so much. It's I
Yeah.
guess this is it. This is the extreme, right? We're seeing the extreme, the extremely wealthy and the destitute,
Yeah.
right? We're in a moment of extremity.
Alexandra's asking why hasn't Netanyahu gotten punishment for war crimes? He will. He just hasn't gotten it like fast enough. Although I know, from watching astrology videos and from stuff we've done in classes, that he's in a real challenging time right now. So just see what happens here.
Well, one of the reasons is because the United States backs him, and we're the biggest bully on the block, so they can't really do too much. We don't even we're not even part of the ICC, right? So it's like we're ignoring that. But as we lose our stature, which is what Trump is doing to us, we're going to be just like everybody else, and you know what I'm saying? We're not going to be able to support that guy.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so I did pick a
Yeah.
a Mystic Sister card. I got the Raven Goddess. So watch your birds this week.
I watch the birds. I watch them. I watch them.
It says messages and omens. The raven's mythic static across many cultures is that of shapeshifter and mediator between the worlds of the living and the dead. There are they are messengers from the beyond, and they are bearers of an omen. To have a raven's knowledge indicates the ability to see beyond what is visible to the eye. The raven is one of the wisest of all animals. Drawing this card increases your ability to pick, oops, gotta turn the page, up on cosmic symbols and whisperings. So we just have to keep our eyes open. And, birds are a great way of indicating what the weather is going to be as well.
They were. And I do write that. That is one of my identifiers. I don't just like smell like the basement and know there's going to be a dust storm or whatever. The other one was the fish oil on Tuesday, and then there was a lightning storm. I don't know. So definitely I use the birds as identifier, and they were going like this and like this at the same time. I write down birds, ladybugs. There were ladybugs all over the window. Okay.
They probably got blown. They probably got blown into
The spider web, there were, and I know that the windows were just here, but there were a couple spiders and they were starting to do their thing and they're just all just like dust. It just got really weird. So I
Yeah.
worry about what is in the soil. So this came from like farmland. It's so dry that when the winds pulled up the dry soil, it pulls up the fertilizer and all the stuff that they put in it, and the wind just picked it up. I was obsessed with this shape
I
on
love
the 14th. That one spilled out, and then I did another one the same day on the 14th. And this happened on the like 16th or 15th, the next day. So stern. I don't know what's in it. You know what I mean? That is harmful, but I know that dog, there's no way he went out before noon today. And a lot of people that have respiratory issues were affected, and how badly they're affected. I have no idea.
Well, particulates are I mean, it's not just like it's not just the drought, but all the fires. I mean, all the ash, all the, that stuff, a lot of particulate pollution. And of course Trump, took away all the all the things, pollute at your leisure. Pollute at your leisure, right? There was something I was going to say. Now let me think.
Alexandra just said her kittens watch the crows from the window. Yeah. And you know what's going on by how the cats are behaving, right? As they're watching the birds. It's like translating back to you because of how the cats are behaving. And if there were like a lot of birds, there would be a lot more cat activity. And you would be like, oh, what's going on?
Right? Paula says that Netanyahu can't go anywhere in the world. He'll be arrested, except for America. America and probably, I don't know, maybe Turkey. I don't know. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Christine says Moody downgraded our credit rating today.
Yep.
That's really not good.
No.
First time since 1900.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
I
pretty
was doing some work today, looking at charts and the like. I was looking at the United States solar return chart and the numbers and all that stuff. And then I was looking at the returns. Like we just had a Pluto return.
Yeah.
Right? So we've had our Pluto return. We're going to be having our third Uranus return in 2027. We've had one Neptune return that happened in the 30s, the last Dust Bowl, 1930s, and we've had 8 Saturn returns in our history. So, and the next one is going to be the 9th, and that's going to happen in 2040.
Okay, I won't be around.
I'm not worried about that one necessarily.
Not worried about that one as much. You got it from here. Yeah. You like take the helm because I won't be around for the 2040. Not that I don't care. I would definitely contribute to whatever like I can to keep it as sane as possible. At least food for everybody. It really bothers me that there is this idea that there's not enough food. Like there's people starving. There's enough food.
Yeah.
For everybody. Yeah. And we're pulling it, right? We're pulling food from kids. It's just like this, like so bizarre. I can't even. Hi, Patrick and Sharon are new. Antonia. Can we? There's apparently there's a haunted doll that went on a tour, and she wants to send it to the White House. I've been working with that type of energy,
so to speak.
and I do have a little story to share. I don't think it's going to harm anybody.
Whatever you do, don't tell the story in shells on the beach.
No. No. The energy, the little physical form of energy there I have to represent how I feel about this person, and then is in that corner of the window, and I left it there, and I knew that the window washers were coming, and I saw the ropes that day, and I kind of saw the guy swing, and I grabbed the dog and I left because I don't want to be here when they're doing that. Nice, just keep going. I came back. They raised the screens to wash the inside of the window, and I came home, and the doll's head was screen was slammed down on the doll's head onto the windowsill, butt up in the air. I looked at it and I laughed so hard because if it was purposeful, it made that man's day.
Yes. And if it wasn't purposeful, or it was purposeful, it made your day. So if anybody may not know what kind of doll she's talking about the voodoo doll that was created for a certain, I don't know.
So I don't have to look it out all over the place. And then it actually, because it's exposed to outside energy, it has, it moves around in that space. It gets wet. It gets its head smashed underneath in between the screen. Like things happen. Look at how active is it today? When it was really windy, it was like bouncing around. It bounced onto the cable box. And so it's the way I identify where I store that energy. But I gave it to somebody else that day. And I'm leaving it alone because I love the way it just turned up.
Right. Yeah. Let things fall where they may, so to speak, right? Cindy is reminding Ona that 2040 is only 15 years away.
I'll be 75.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that?
I think that's enough.
We'll see when you get there. I have a friend who said, when I'm 72, she says, I think that's when I'm leaving.
Yeah.
She's 72. She's still here. She changed her mind. When she got there, she changed her mind. So
we'll see what's available. I've contracted about my potential for dementia and my desire to not have my kid go through what I did with somebody with Alzheimer's. I've had stage 4 colon cancer. This will be my year 11. That might come back up. Who knows? That's always like that shadowy sort of thing in the background. I don't want to put like a thing on it, but I know I have my boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Well, things could get really great,
mm-hmm.
because, we're moving into a whole new level of consciousness. I mean, that's what's happening to us. And so we have to be willing to just sort of let it all go and see where we end up.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. What you just said is things could get great. Maybe I feel like some things are great right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like the day was great today. What a great day. So if I think someday they might get great, I'm always pushing for that, and I don't see the great in front of me right now, which looks pretty freaking cool. I feel so lucky sometimes. I'm like, how did I get here? I know.
I don't know. For my life, it's weird because I don't feel 63. I don't feel like I've lived a life long enough to be 63. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
strange. I don't feel very much different than I did when I was 36.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
my knees feel a little different.
Yeah. There's things that are a little bit slower for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Mary says that she feels like the window washer did it on purpose. I think I'm happy he did. Yeah. I think good for him. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Sweet Melly said she put, okay, that's good. Put the puppy killer and chlorine blonde into a jar the other day. It's not, yeah, out in the courtyard. Good for you. Did you feel better? Like you can compartmentalize it, you can put the energy outside in a way and then walk past it. Those are the vortexes we find in on all the spaces around us or where people have just sort of dumped negative energy. Churches, funeral homes. Yep. Yep. Speaking of energy, that's exactly what you find when you're learning about energy, right? I got one right here. Is those subtle things that, like, oh, huh, yeah, right? That's weird. Those are the energies that you pick up on outside of people, and everybody can do it. And you notice it, right? Here you go, buddy. Here you go, big dog. You can have that one. Oh, my goodness.
I need to get a deck of cards. So do we have a do we have a question? Was there a question posed?
We should ask.
You said we should pull cards on something. What was that? Do you
Have
remember?
I done a drawing since the 14th? I have, but they're not colored yet. I did some other ones now, but just like a sketchbook that I rotate through in the morning. But they're not filled in yet. I have a hard time with the part where you have to color things in. And then
I like them even not colored. I think they're cool.
this was actually there was one that was like Lake Michigan where I had put like Lake Michigan in there and sort of like to calm it down. And I haven't colored them in yet. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I want to. We'll see. Maybe it'll come to me later. Some of them I leave uncolored, but I do that every single day. Yeah.
It's relaxing, right? It sort of gets you in sort of a
It allows me to flood my brain with what I notice is a sharp object that I should either smooth out or leave alone. In people's energy and the dog, like anything, like things are coming up sharp around people, and it helps me sort of like smooth that out. So yeah, I could start the morning very sharp.
Paula turned 69 today. Happy birthday, Paula.
Oh, happy birthday. And that helps me sort of round it off. That's awesome. Well, happy birthday.
All right. So
He's turned 68 in April. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Double happy birthday. You know what? I want you guys to think of a question for a WTF card pull. Let's see what we can get.
WTF.
You know, when last time there was somebody that said, WTF are they thinking? And I'm like, oh, that's a great question. Let's pull a card. There's another one in there somewhere that people want to know. What WTF the weather?
Well,
WTF the Sun conjunct Uranus, because it feels like it's going to hang in there for a little bit longer.
I just got a message on my phone because I get like alerts.
Yes.
Usually they're bad news, but like, and there was an explosion in Palm Beach, I think it was, or I think Palm Springs. There was some sort of explosion. Did anyone hear about that? I don't know. Like that. The reason I bring it up is because it's very Sun Uranus. Right? These things that just like come out of nowhere. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. So my mother, Illuminata, that's her name.
Yeah.
Her name means light, or Lucille, either one. Um, she lives in Delaware, and it was Mother's Day, and it's her birthday this coming week, and I wanted to go down and take a visit, but I couldn't. I didn't do it. Like I wanted to feel it out, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in the summer, I think, and visit family because all my family's down in New Jersey. But my husband's like, you really should go. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this isn't the time. And then I went on looked on the news, and the Garden State Parkway was closed.
For
Now I
what?
don't know if anybody's is in New Jersey or knows about the Garden State Parkway, but it was closed because of sinkholes. There
Okay.
there are these huge sinks in the middle of the highway.
I want to put love, Lori. Thank you, Lori. Yes, a Palm Springs fertility clinic was nice. Yeah.
Do they think it was a setup, or was it equipment, or I mean, what could it be?
I don't know, but if they don't have abortion clinics anymore, or they are not operating like that, it could be, who knows?
Oh, Carol V says it was a car explosion in front of a fertility clinic.
Well, why are they not like an abortion clinic, which I don't know if they even have like freestanding in Florida like we do here.
Was it Florida? Isn't Palm
Palm
Springs in
Springs.
California? It's not Palm Springs.
Maybe you're right. I don't
It's
know.
California, right, folks?
Oh, it could be anything.
Car bomb.
Car bomb is deliberate. California. I'm sorry.
California. Okay, yeah, I thought so. West Palm is where Mar-a-Lago is.
Yeah. Car bomb's pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up.
But for a fertility clinic, like what's that? I mean, not that I understand an abortion clinic because that's crazy, but it's all crazy. But like,
Oh, okay. No, I think it makes more sense now because Karen said it was a Tesla swastika. So the person that's promoting fertility, and it looks like it came from somebody who's extremist
oh,
on the left, sort of like,
oh,
oh yeah,
okay.
you want to make more babies, Elon? Here, eat your car and all your sperm that you donated.
Says no damage to eggs or embryos reported.
Frozen eggs and embryos, no damage. No, because those are in basically giant frozen nitrogen, huge tanks
Right.
in controlled environments in a lead lined room. They're not easy to damage. Yeah. But the message was probably, right there. Yeah, Sharon says Elon can do the world a favor by voluntarily sterilizing himself. I don't know why anybody would want to be with somebody that has such a challenging relationship future. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that too much work for anybody to be in that relationship with Elon? It's like, no, wait for the next one. I don't see him having long-term anything until something happens. For sure.
Aniko says there are sinkholes on I-80. Yes, I heard about those, but this was even. These are some more. These were in South Jersey, I think, down south. They closed the parkway, and New Jersey is just, and like it's the start of the season. Like next weekend is the start of the summer season.
It's also hurricane season, isn't it? June for the Northeast, like June through September is.
like
It's.
October.
I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of starting. Yeah. What was I should backpedal a little bit on any WTF questions that people might have to want to share, or if you just think of something that. How about WTF is taking so long?
Oh, I like that.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do
Can we do
WTF.
that? Yeah, let's do a WTF for that.
Oh, I talk to Ona almost every day, and almost every other day I ask that question.
Yes, it's taking so long because we can have time question, we can have lectures on time, we can astral project and time lapse and time travel, but what TF is taking so long?
It doesn't look well. This looks like something's happening right this minute, doesn't it? Okay, that's the question.
What is that sword piercing?
When is it's it looks
Fire.
like a wolf, a fire wolf. Okay.
I have Radha, daughter of the Wands of the East, or Princess of Wands. Princess of Wands. What is taking so long?
Oh,
I'm not as familiar with Radha as I am the chanting that comes with Radha in there, or how with the goddess, but that's what is taking so long. So fire, Princess of Wands, that would be like a message, waiting for something to happen. What are you getting?
well, I did a whole spread. So the first thing I got was the Ace of Swords, right? So the Ace of Swords is the sword of justice, right? So that's the question. When
Okay.
does it
Well,
happen?
from the top as you're talking, as mine come out, and your come, because I didn't do the whole thing.
Okay. So and then it's crossed by the Six of Pentacles. What do you have?
Two of Wands, Dominion.
Yeah. The Two of Wands, well, yeah.
Can't get through the castle there.
No, there's like it's something is blocked.
Something's blocking the castle entry.
So these two says that it things haven't been balanced yet.
Yeah.
There's still some balancing that has to happen. Underneath it, we get the um, Five of Cups.
Queen of Wands.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Kali
Kali.
Ma. Kali Ma. Yeah, I know Kali Ma. Yeah, I know Kali Ma.
I know her too.
Yeah, that's the bottom.
Okay. So sorrow, loss. In the past, I got the Page of Cups, which is interesting because in this deck they're drunk. This is all his DUI hires.
I'm getting all these court cards on top here. This is Krishna or the Prince of Wands.
Prince of Wands. Okay. So it almost seems like there's a lot of people in your deck there. There's all these people around him.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a crowd, and they're not letting anybody into the castle.
Okay.
That's the challenge all the way around. Yep.
In the sky, I get the one and only Queen of Pentacles, who we're still trying to figure out who this Queen of Pentacles is, but she comes up all the time.
Prince of Swords, Osiris.
Oh, he's a death and rebirth god, right? He's the sacrifice god.
Yep.
Then I get the Ace of Wands. In the immediate future, what'd you get?
Star card, Uranus.
Oh, don't lose hope. Then I got the Ace of Cups. I got almost all the aces.
And where I get the Sun. So this is a positive placement in the spread.
Yeah. Well, it's illumination, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be much longer. I mean, these cards indicate not much longer. Domestic situation, I get the Three of Pentacles.
The Universe or the World card.
Okay. So that's the World card is a 3 card too. So maybe we can take that as 3.
Yep.
3 months, maybe.
Yep.
Hopes and fears, the Knight of Wands.
Justice.
Yeah. We hope that, don't we?
You sure do. Look at the little Libra right there, like her.
The outcome, I got the Six of Cups. 6.
I got the Two of Stones, but it is listed as harmony on here.
June, maybe.
And on the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Stones, which they call failure, but it would be, 7 of Pentacles. But in this deck, they call it failure, and the King of Stones.
That looks like failure. Elon's failure.
Father of Stones in the West. Oldman is the connection for heavy emphasis, and I really shuffle these cards well, and they're thin enough to riffle shuffle that all those gods and goddesses showed up in that. It's almost like this protection is around. That is what's taking so long, is the timing, the protection around everything. Yeah.
So underneath it all, I'll tell you what I got. I got the Three of Swords, which is betrayal. The Nine of Swords, which is anxiety. And the Hermit. Which is being isolated.
Yeah. Also, it's a Hermit year.
Yeah, it's a year of endings.
It's a Hermit year, so maybe like to sort of tease it that sometime this year, it's what's taking so long. It's a Hermit year, so
I think his trip to Qatar and what do you call Saudi Arabia, he's just looking for a retirement place, because I think that I don't know, like I just
I think he'll be back to be able to survive himself litigiously if he stays here. I don't think he will. So I guess with all these things that we already think about, why haven't they impeached him? Why aren't there articles? What's going on? What WTF has taken so long? It's because he has built a fortress around himself of people who are protecting him. He is the weakest link. He's the weakest link, for sure. And everybody around him is just making excuses for him and not letting him in. He isn't doing shit.
Paula says the Queen of Pentacles could be the chief of staff. She could be. She's actually a Taurus.
You said that. Yeah.
You did say that. She's a Taurus, and she's Pat Summerall's daughter. Did you know that? Pat Summerall's daughter.
The name is familiar, but I can't put
He used to be on Monday Night Football or Saturday Football. He was one of the original announcers of the football. Listen to me, like.
You know what? Malaria has also got a heavy concentration of Earth in her chart also. Yep. So she could be too. And that would be, accessible. And I mean, I know that there's a challenging piece going on in his chart and and then Yahoo's and everything. And someday we'll be talking about this is like the past. I don't think it's going to take that long.
I'm going to pick 3 cards on Benji.
Okay. Just like past, present, future.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's probably the fastest. Oh man, I'm going to have to pick a few more.
Oh no! Sometimes, yeah. You know what? When you do these live, you're like, I don't know if I should save this video or publish it or just scrap it. But sometimes there's things that you don't want to publish because it seems like they're just going to go okay for that person. You don't want them to go for.
Oh, so I got the Knight of Swords. This is him. This is him. The Seven of Cups, illusion, delusion. The Eight of Wands, this is all the bombs he's dropping on those poor starving children. You get the Strength card, but then I get the Moon.
I gotta say, that could be a stroke. Doesn't he have a Mars square right now?
Let's see. Mars is in Leo.
So.
He might.
Neptune's in Aries.
Mars in Leo, I think, is on his Pluto and his Mars and his Saturn, I think.
Okay.
Something like
Alexandra asked me, do you mean malaria like a mosquito disease? No, I mean, that's what I call melania. And I whisper that because I haven't said that. I've called her that for years. Yeah. Yeah, so what I mean is she's got a heavy influence. And a lot of people pull that Queen of Pentacles. So there is an influence there too. And she's got some pull, right? So what else you get for Nenya?
It's bad. It ends with the Moon. It's lunacy. He's crazy.
Yep.
He really, really is crazy. I just don't know who's going to stop him.
Oh, well, that's a great question.
Why don't I ask you? I'll ask you that question. Who's going to stop him?
Who's going to stop him? Oh, you let me do the dirty karma.
All right, I'll pick some cards. I wouldn't do that. This time I'm only going to pick 3 though.
That's okay. Who's going to stop him right away? This just flipped around, and I haven't really shuffled yet. Is the Star. I got a Star.
I got the Star too.
Stop it.
You did?
Yeah. So somebody who is an Aquarius? An Aquarian?
Well, that would the only Aquarius that I can think of is Zelensky, but he's not really connected in that way.
He's not connected in that way, but it kind of looks like him. Yeah. Right? So there.
I love myself some Volodymyr.
He looks like I was gonna say that, and I held back because that is how I use the cards, and that is why I always have these, because a lot of these images do have a similar quality to the people that we're reading for. So is he Aquarian? He's got some Aquarian influence in his chart?
Yeah, he's got a Sun-Venus conjunction in Aquarius. Okay.
So Vladimir Zelensky. What was the question? Who's going to stop?
Who's going to take? Who's going to stop? Okay, I'll tell you what I got.
Indirectly, perhaps.
Oh.
But yeah.
I also got the 7 of Pentacles, which is not having enough resources.
Yeah.
And then the Five of Wands, which in this deck is a really cool card because it's all these people that are like
Yes.
blindfolded, not seeing what they're doing. And there's a hornet's nest up there. And there is somebody watching, but he's not telling them. He's just sitting and waiting for I think the people themselves, I think the democracy, because this is a democracy card. I think the Israelis themselves are just going to get fed up with this guy.
Yeah, it's obvious when one person gets stung, they're all going to get stung.
That's what I think. I think it's going to be internal through Israel. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the way it has to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of, yeah. I get the next card I got was the World card.
So
and I actually haven't even probably, yeah, it's like beginning, ending. What's going to do it? It's going to be something grandiose. And then the Devil.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's going to go down ugly. I just don't know how. How soon? I don't like to do this out loud in front of a bunch of people, but I ask how soon a lot because I do like to try and connect tarot with timing. I know it's a fool's errand, but I still.
I'm gonna let you do that because you like to do it.
I know because that Capricorn in me is like, when is this going to happen? And start the clock, right?
Right.
So I like to see how tarot can match up with timing. And as well as personal good. I get the Devil again. Right on top. It flew up right on top.
15, huh?
It could be around winter time.
Right. Could be in Capricorn
Saturn,
season.
right? Capricorn influence. So it could be around that time that I would generalize in the Capricorn season because that card just came right up. And then I really don't try not to go past that because then, but I try to keep it in the back of my head. Yeah. The bottom of the deck is 9 of coins, which is also an earth sign. So maybe the 9th.
Okay.
Maybe when Saturn has got its business done in Pisces, but there's a Saturn component to it for sure.
Well, yeah. Well, Saturn is going into Aries, right?
Yeah.
This coming week. But then it goes back into Pisces and finishes up.
Okay.
And then it goes back into Aries. So that may be the time when we have when we have Neptune and Saturn back in those Pisces, because that energy, that Pisces energy is the victim, is victimization, sadomasochism, all of that is Pisces, Virgo. And that's the old age. We're in the new age. When Saturn and Neptune conjoin at the first degree of Aries, we're in a whole nother place.
Right.
And one of the things that we have to practice now is to focus our intention on the world we want to create, to put all our energy into that, because we'll have an opportunity to actually do that.
And if we constantly flood our consciousness with a lot of this stuff, we're creating it. We're perpetuating it. Maybe not creating it, but we're definitely perpetuating the design that is fueling you. You're fueling it. It's like a Taurus field. And all of a sudden you're addicted to cortisol.
Yeah.
You didn't even know.
One of my teachers would always say, what you resist persists.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's really about it's really hard to say this because I do care. I really do care what happens to other people, but it's almost like you have to release all of that because on some level we're all here to either witness it or be part of it, or it's a big lesson for all of us. And we just have to wake up from the nightmare. And I don't know. I mean, that's what I tell myself, and that's how I sleep at night. So
Mary says, I always saw DT having a major stroke. So let's see, Mare. Let's see if he's going to have a big, beautiful stroke. I'll just pull one card.
Okay, me too.
Right? Yeah. And yeah, Vicky, I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay. Mary, big, beautiful stroke. Just because we have I'm like hanging by a limb with YouTube probably, and we'll get kicked off. But it has to be, we have to be able to talk about these things because, it's what keeps us sort of sane in some way. Three of Wands. That's a vessel disease. There's a vessel thing going on. And if I said Three of Wands was a yes or no card, I'd say yeah. But it could be one of the wands is pointing to a carotid area. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, ma'am, that could be a stroke. You see that? And he dodged a couple not too long ago. Yes. Could be. Come here, buddy. You bring that over here and I'll put a little treat in there for you. He's got it on his face. Like, oh. He needs a bath.
Ooh. J. Cal Lady says he will have a stroke on the 4th week of August, Monday the 18th.
Ooh.
Okay.
Look at you, like you, J. Cal Lady. On that day, there is a lot of good evidence in his chart that his vessels are kind of a mess. So, yeah, that there's definitely an influence on there that's a weight. So it could be just a squeezing thing. It could be a plaque filled thing. Yeah. Her pendulum says she went right to the date on the pendulum. Wow. Look at you guys. That's great. Alexandra says, are you psychic, cat lady? Yes, we all are. Recognize that. Don't be afraid to use that word. We all honestly appreciate and agree that there's energy outside of ourselves that we don't have control over. And that's why sometimes you instantly like somebody or you don't, or you want to get to know them or you avoid them. So, yeah, that could be like a psychic sort of intuitive energy, and everybody has it. Now it's time we got to use it before we have telepathy classes we need to take.
What I would like to say about all of that, I ask Ono every other day, but I think he will be around for as long as we need him to be.
Yeah.
To show us something.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing what you need to see, we're just going to have to give other people some time to see it too, I think.
Haley wants us to pull a card, and I'd be happy to, Haley, on James Comey, because there's been some threat that he has had. Are you worried he's going to be jailed, or he's going to be in trouble for what he wrote in the sand or something?
He didn't write it. He took a picture of somebody else somebody had it in the sand and he was passing. And can you see James Comey putting shells around? Guy, right?
Well, I don't even. It was probably just one of those little side stories I gave very little attention to, which is great for picking a card for it because, I don't know if it's going to make my, greens spoil less, in less time. Then honestly, it doesn't really affect me in that they're just throwing about a bunch of verbal vomit out there to scare you.
So I got the Chariot. So this is going to come and go very quickly.
Yeah, it's a side story. Yeah, you
the
bet.
Seven of Swords. It's a
Cool.
Fool. Yeah. This is just it's just like They're blowing it out of proportion because he's doing something else. He's stealing somewhere else. Not James Comey, the the
Yeah.
mango melon felon as who is that? The soul writer. I like her. I like her.
Yeah.
And the Ten of Cups. Everything's gonna be
Third
fine.
card I got was 10 of Cups
Yeah,
here.
he has nothing to worry about. He has nothing to worry about.
No, it's a side
Well,
story.
yeah,
Those
it's just
little weird little, things that come out are like, don't give it that much attention. But if it starts to come back, like the Saudi Arabia thing, that is a repeating thing. Those are the ones to pay attention to. My only worry, and I said this on Tuesday night astrology class, was what is happening that we don't know, that we've got no press on. We don't know what's going on. That's happening in rural areas, that might be happening to a small group of people that they're sort of keeping in their own, communication lines there. So that is what I worry about. Not the stuff so much we hear about, but the stuff that we're unaware of. And it is 7:01. Yeah, Mary. A lot of people have already visualized the present being. I love this. In a cloth robe, yeah, just kind of wandering a mill about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's going to pretty much be like that.
Well, so far everybody who has tied their boat to his dock, their boat has sunk. Pretty much everybody. So we can assume that that's not going to stop.
We're going to
So let's not tie our boat to his dock, folks, because it's time for us to take off and live our best lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't let all this talk of doom and gloom prevent you from keeping. He wins if you're not joyful. He wins if you're not joyful.
Yep.
That's my final say on the subject.
There you go. And it's about time to wrap it up. I'm sure it's going to get dark here soon, or not. I don't know. The clouds have been going.
Still light years, so you're good for another hour probably.
I should be.
Yeah,
I should be, right.
Yeah.
And tomorrow morning we'll have time out with giblets in the morning. And I know Dr. Vicky does the morning thing, which I watch every day. The garden is like poof.
I know, right?
Almost look like they're tired. It's nuts.
It's nuts, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to sit and chit chat with you.
Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sovereign.
And pay attention to the weather.
Yeah. And find something great in every day.
Yeah.
Even if it's just, oh, great, that is the last cookie in the cookie jar.
That's a sad day for me, but okay.
Great. Not that kind of great, but great. Okay, so it's mine, right?
Yeah. All right.
Love you. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.